Welcome again to the General Association's hashtag Before Breaking Barriers While Building Bridges. We are excited for today's episode where we're going to dig just a little deeper into OROWA Financial, which is a division of Park Community Credit Union that is the General Association's OROWA Financial. We're going to dig a little deeper in that. We're excited about our newly elected and appointed and anointed editor of the AB News, our American Baptist newspaper, this 157-year communication tool that we have in the General Association. We're excited about some new things that Elder Garry is bringing as we go forward to fall in line and to bring the General Association into the 21st century with our digital products. We're excited about that. And certainly we're going to talk a little bit about the balance that we're having in our city, across our Commonwealth, and the Black church. I think we need to talk about that because we're intimately involved in our communities. And this is not police shooting our people. This is our people shooting our people, and where the church needs to be as we go forward to bring down and find out and figure out, why are we so angry? Why are our young people so upset? And why do we not have good conflict resolution as we go forward? So welcome. I want to start with welcoming our co-host, who's been with us just about every show, Elder Garry. Welcome to hashtag Before General Association, Breaking Barriers, Building Bridges. Thank you again, my friend, my brother from another mother, for being here, as well as our first Vice-Moderator, co-host, Dr. Michael Rice from the First Baptist Church of Glasgow, Kentucky. Thank you for being with us today on this segment. And of course, our president. He's our president of OROWA Financial, none other than the Reverend Raymond Smith. Brother President, thank you for being here with us today. We want to kind of start, I think, Elder Spots, with the exciting things that you have planned. I know that you and the moderators have talked about the things that you would like and what you're bringing to the table. You just want to share some of that, those things concerning the General Association's AB News?
Absolutely, I do, because at the end of the day and the beginning of the day, our ability, and I said this on one of our previous shows, our ability to communicate with each other is the basis of successful community. And so the AB News, which was formerly the American Baptist newspaper, we're trying to transition to calling it the AB News, because it is not a newspaper any longer. It is a digital platform and a print magazine coming out, the first inaugural issue in November. And we're really, really excited about the return to a print format. And we're really looking for people who are interested in writing, number one. Two, we're looking for people to subscribe, because, and to me, this is one of the single most important things about this new platform that we're launching with the print version of the magazine, is that it creates an opportunity for us to actually underwrite the efforts that are being made to communicate with people across the state. And so we are looking to build a really strong subscriber base. Some of you all know at the General Association last session, I said that I have a goal of raising, through the American Baptist product, $50,000 in subscriptions, where to worship, and through advertising. Now, the reason I want to do that is because we need to make sure that all of the tools that are necessary to really put together a really high quality, a much higher quality publication, both online as well as in print. We need those resources to buy the tools. And you know, we're going to do what we're doing right now. Sometimes we have to make bricks without straw, but we're not quite there. We've got some really wonderful things going on. The website has been up and running for almost 3 years now. And we have really good traction with that. People are using the website, but of course, we need more subscribers. And there's going to be two different platforms or two different statuses that you can have. One, you can be a free subscriber. And as a free subscriber to the digital platform, the website, what that affords you is the opportunity to come look at a whole host of articles and things of that sort that are already being published and have been published. The Sunday school lesson is published, commentary is published every week. And we've got to really beef that up. We need some Sunday school writers. And we have a whole host of other articles. There's going to be, of course, the paid subscription, which is $52 a year. That's $1 a week. You know you squander $1 a week on nothing. Why don't you invest that $52 in a subscription with the American Baptist? Help us to build this. And what that will give you is not only the quarterly 4 issues a year, the quarterly print magazine, which will be full color, front to back with articles, jam-packed. We're excited about this inaugural issue because we're going to have a series of articles on Kwanzaa and celebrating Kwanzaa, because Kwanzaa is not a religious holiday. It's a cultural holiday. And it's important for us to understand that. And there's a place in our communities and in our churches for Kwanzaa. In fact, I initiated one of the first Kwanzaa celebrations in the state of Kentucky, here in Louisville. In fact, here at St. Stephen's Church back in 1990. And so Kwanzaa is important. We're going to do a whole host of articles on holiday traditions through recipes. So we're looking for great recipes. My wife has already been putting together some of our secret family recipes to put into the American Baptist, the AB News magazine. We're looking for others who would like to do that as well. So it's going to be something in there for everyone. We're going to do a piece on OROWA that's going to publish in that magazine. We're going to do some things digitally about OROWA, particularly about how do you maximize the benefit of the OROWA experience? Because again, communication is the basis of community. And now we have these wonderful tools that allow us to do that. And so that I'm really excited about all of the stuff, but we need subscribers. We need you to subscribe. The second thing I want to say, and I know I'm taking up a lot of time, but there's a lot to be said, never enough time to say it in, right? And that is, churches, we have a really, really exciting, beautiful Where to Worship. If you remember, the print version of the Where to Worship was in the newspaper, right? And so it was, you paid, it was upcharged to do color and all that. Well, today, because it's a digital platform, you can buy your Where to Worship. It's $200 a year. So that price from the newspaper has been transferred over. So it really should be more, but we're going to keep it at $200 for the foreseeable future, where you can actually have a page on our website that is dedicated specifically to your church. Post your pictures, post your contact information, a little background about your church, pictures of your pastor, activities, your ministries. And it's a full web page that is dedicated specifically to your church right there for $200 a year. You can't get that anywhere. And I just want to say, we need churches to subscribe to Where to Worship and get your page on the American Baptist. And what we'll probably be doing is featuring churches from around the state who have their Word of Worship in our monthly email newsletter, because we have an email newsletter that goes out every publication. So there's a lot that's going on, and we need to build the American Baptist News, because not only is it a revenue source for the General Association, which then empowers us to do even more. We can begin to funnel some of those resources into the revitalization of the State Mission Board. So there's a lot of things that this means. So we need people to come on and be a part of this. And I'm talking about from every age group. We're looking for writers as young as 15 and 16, as well as if you have poetry or spoken word. We'd love to publish that, whether it's in a video format on the website or whether it's in a written format in the magazine or on the website. So everybody, we're going to do something that really is exciting.
Well, thank you for that, Elder Smyzer. And that was a lot for us to kind of take in all at one time. Yeah. And so we know that we're going to have to spend some time in piecing some of this out so that everybody could understand it. But Brother President, Reverend Raymond Smith, our president of OROWA Financial, the Bible teaches us and tells us that when the children of Israel had to make brick without straw, and then they had the Passover experience, and Moses was leading them out of Egypt, he told them to go to their neighbors and ask them for what. So I'm coming OROWA Financial and saying, what is it that you really feel that you can bring to the table as the General Association's AB News really begins to launch this new plan and program? What is it that OROWA Financial can really do to kind of assist and help that?
Right, I tell you, I appreciate you putting me on the spot there. But one of the things I'll say is listening to him really excited me. And one of the things that one of my first thoughts was, I would certainly love to be able to work a way or to work something out with that every new church that comes on board with OROWA, that we would assist in some of the publications you're talking about, that we would pay some of the advertisement for being in there, particularly some of the churches that may not have a large budget, but are a part of the association. And as they come on board with OROWA, I think there's a way, because it's all about relationships, right? And not just doing business. As a part of the relationship, what I want to see OROWA do, and I want to think through and crunch some numbers, is to find ways to help subsidize or even pay for them being in the magazine, for them being a part of what is now going to be changed. So opportunities so that they can be a part of showcasing who they are, what they do, and to be able to be recognized as well as all the other churches.
Absolutely.
Dr. Rice, now I'm going to be a little prophetic here. I'm going to prophesy going forward. You are the first Vice-Moderator of the General Association of Baptists in Kentucky. And if the Lord say so and the constituencies agree, then you will be the moderator of this great institution that we know as the General Association of Baptists in Kentucky, this organism that has tentacles that's reaching far and deep at a time when these different type of products and what we're hearing coming from AB News and hearing coming from OROWA Financial is going to be very, very instrumental in the lives of the people that you're going to lead, 180,000 plus people that you're going to lead across this Commonwealth. Give us your thoughts about how you feel about what's going on with both OROWA Financial and this new direction of the General Association's AB News.
Well, let me first say that that's a humbling thought. And certainly, I thank God that He knows how to build a team.
Amen.
God knows how to put a team together. And I'm grateful for the brilliance of Elder Spots as it relates to editorials and media. And I'm grateful for the brilliance of a Raymond Smith who understands finance, and he knows how that can be a blessing to us. And so I'm excited about the fact that I have at this time, we have, and the brilliance of a Smyzer who just administratively, he's brilliant. I thank God for that. And I'm excited about having people like you guys around me. One of the things I've learned, Dr. Smyzer, is you don't have to know everything if you've got good folk around.
That's right.
Amen.
And so I'm excited about what lies ahead for GABKY. I think our founding fathers of this great institution were brilliant in their thinking. And I think that brilliance has been handed down. And I'm grateful for that. So listen, I just think what the constituency has nothing but good to expect in the coming years. As long as God supplies us with people like you guys, we're going to be okay. And we're going to continue. And listen, I believe that we are challenged and charged to serve this present day.
Yeah, that's right. Amen.
And what we did 50 years ago will not work today. And so I'm excited. I'm elated. I'm enthused about what the future holds for GABKY.
Well, thank you for that. And I think that's a great segue for us to really move into speaking with the coming generation, which is one of your staff members, your co-laborers in the OROWA Financial Mr. Andrew Pleasant, and we're going to kind of bring him in at this point. On that note, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back with Mr. Andrew Pleasant, your co-laborer, your cohort in the OROWA financial arena, and let's talk to him about the future that you're speaking of. And we are back and excited about this young man that is now joining us, Mr. Andrew Pleasant. Thank you so much for being here, Andrew. We know that you are working with Raymond, and I'll let you give us kind of your job description. But there's a couple of things that we want to kind of talk about concerning your generation, where you are, and one of the reasons that we have adopted the hashtag before breaking barrier while building bridges, we realized that we had to build a bridge, we being the General Association, to your generation. And we're thanking God right now for having people such as yourself that is going to help us, guide us, and show us the way that we really need to build the bridge, so that when we're all done, when our time is up and we're moved on off the scene, we would have built a good foundation for you and your constituents and your generation to stand on and build. So tell us a little bit about yourself, about your job, about what you do, and what you think about what we're doing as the General Association.
Well, first and foremost, I just want to say thank you guys for having this opportunity. It's a pleasure to be in this space with you guys. My title is Community Development Officer. So I come from a long history of banking and also nonprofit. So I've kind of been able to see the experiences between banking, credit union, and nonprofit. And I've seen the boxes that the financial institutions try to create. And from a different perspective, from a younger perspective, we, like you said before, have to think outside that box. And so traditionally, minorities, low to moderate, Hispanics don't fit in those boxes. And so what we have to do is try to figure out from past experiences and from future experiences what works. And that may be a case by case. That may be something that we've never seen before. But we have to take the resources that we have, we have to take the knowledge that we have, and we have to take, and as a collective in what we do from the community development side, is utilize those resources and put everybody that we can inside those resources.
I think, and I want Elder Spots and Dr. Rice to jump in, but I think one of the things that I really feel that you not only bring to the table, but that you're going to help us to spearhead, and that is the direction that we need to go in. What do we need to be thinking about as we are trying to build this bridge? And where do you think we might be kind of missing the boat that we need to shore up so that we can have a good start as we go forward? Honestly,
that's a really good question. It's going to take brainstorming. It's going to take collective effort. It's going to take a multitude of those things. And so I think what we really have to do is get on the ground. What we do from OROWA is we meet our clients where they are. If it's in the West End, if it's in the church, or if it's in the park. We can't expect the people that have not traditionally been told or have these resources to come out to the East End or come out to where we are. We have to change that and break down and build new bridges and go to where they are. And I think that's where it has to start, is from a younger perspective, what do we love? What do we like? And bring that aspect of financial or literacy, or from a religious standpoint, to that realm, instead of trying to think about what we've always done and how to incorporate us into those new realms. Take what we already do well and what we focus on, and bring those ideas to those perspectives.
So it's financial evangelism of a sort. So, as Jesus told us, go ye therefore into all the world, right?
Exactly.
So here we've got an opportunity through OROWA to go ye therefore into all of our community,
right,
and share this information. And at the end of the day, as Jesus sent us out to empower people to become, through discipleship, we have now an opportunity to go out and empower people through financial literacy and understanding and wealth building, which ultimately is a biblical mandate, right?
Yes.
Create wealth unto the third generation, the scripture even talks about. So at the end of the day, we have this great resource that I'm hearing you say, we have to meet people where they are,
Right.
understand what they need, what their wants and desires are. One of the things I've been most impressed about with Andrew is I've had the opportunity to work with him as we worked on OROWA at the early stages. Is he's a sponge. He's a sponge. He just just soaks up everything around him. He listens, and I really have been impressed with that. And I really think that he is the best fit for what OROWA is doing in this partnership with the GA.
And I also think, to piggyback on what Dr. Smyzer said earlier, I think we have to transition so we can transform. And what worked years ago will not work today. So I think, simply stated, ministry meets needs. And we have to discover what the needs of our people are.
Absolutely.
And not only does ministry meet needs, but ministry will not leave people where it finds them.
Exactly.
And so if we find people down, as an organization, GABKY, it ought to be our desire to lift our people, to lift our churches. And I think that's the direction that we're headed. We're not going to do church. We're not going to do associational meetings like we used to. This day and time demands something different. And I think it's your age group that's going to challenge us to do that. And I appreciate what you're doing, brother.
Thank you. Thank you.
Elder Spots, from your position as editor of the AB News, how do you see Andrew and the generation he represents really becoming an integral part of what we're doing and what we're trying to do with AB News?
We have on the General Association website a blog called Our Voice. It's kind of underutilized at this point. And that's something that we have to work on to make sure that we can get the people talking and using that and writing, but also in the American Baptist, because at the end of the day, we need to hear in writing, in video, in audio, and all the different formats that we could possibly have, what's on your mind and how we can best serve you. We already know that a lot of people I forget even what these generations are called nowadays, right? The millennials and whatever, don't trust the church.
Yeah.
And when I hear people talk about them, the first question I ask is, have they left the church or has the church left them? And that's an important, I'm of the opinion, and I've said this for years, that the church has failed in a lot of ways to continue to empower parents to raise children. And we're seeing the fallout of that in a lot of ways. So, when I look at that generation, because I have children in that generation, and, they are striving to be successful, looking for home ownership. And this is why I'm excited about this opportunity, because the American Baptist News can be that trumpet into the community. But we need to actually get their voices to become a part of the AB News as well. And that's why one of the things I said off camera a moment ago is that I'm thinking we're going to add a web app to our cadre of services and products. So we have the website, we have the magazine that's coming out in November. I think we're going to launch a web app with the magazine and then really push that to that generation, because that puts that technology, that information, that resource, that medium at their fingertips on their phone.
That's correct.
Yeah. So,
well, look, I really wanted us to get to several things, Andrew, with you. I want to have this discussion, and before our time runs out, will you come back?
Of course.
And I'm talking about immediately in our next episode, and let us drill down into not only about the financial standards of your generation, how they view finances with us. I mean, I'm one of the baby boomers, and we have a certain mentality about how we deal and handle finances that I come to understand that may not necessarily be your standard. I want to drill down with that, and I also want to drill down on the violence that we're having, not only in our city here of Louisville, but Dr. Rice, violence is all over our state. Yeah. It just maybe don't get the publicity that we're getting, but I want you to come back and help us to understand what we should be thinking about as the Black church. Now, I know that if the police shoots a young Black male, we're up in arms and we're in the streets. I don't seem to see the same reaction when we kill one of our own. And I want to kind of drill down, and I want to get your thoughts on maybe what we as the church has always been, again, the bedrock of the Black community. I think we've been too quiet. I think everything has come out of the closet and the church has gone into the closet. Well, it's time for the church, I think, to come out of the closet, and let's deal with some of these issues. Again, if you would be so kind, I would love for you to come back, and I would love for our co-host to be with us. And as we think about maybe some of the things that we need to talk about with Andrew concerning his generation and how we should be trying to do some things to build those bridges. Well, it looks like we're about to wind down our time. Oh, where did the time go? It kind of flew by. Again, thank you, Andrew Pleasant, for being here. Thank you, Dr. Rice, and as always, Elder Spots, for co-hosting this segment of General Association #B4 Breaking Barriers While Building Bridges. We are excited about what the Lord is doing in our generation and how he is using people each and every day to make a difference, that is shouting from the mountaintops that God is still alive and he is still large and he's still in charge, and he didn't come to take sides, he came to take over, and therefore he is still supreme in our lives. Again, thank you. We look forward to you being with us again on our next episode of General Association #B4 Breaking Barriers While Building Bridges. See you.
Thank you.
Next move.